Welcome to another session of wireless communications and networks. Unit 2, mobile radio propagation, large scale path loss. Today's topic is the three basic propagation mechanism. The three basic propagation mechanism. Here nothing but propagation mechanism is nothing but the wave, the electromagnetic wave transmits from one point to other point, one medium to another medium. Is there any changes in the characteristics of the signal, that is time, amplitude, frequency, phase, like that? Is there any changes occurs and what is the output? At that time we are going for these three basic propagation mechanisms. Here the three basic propagation mechanisms are reflection, diffraction and scattering are the three basic propagation mechanisms in a mobile communication system. Mobile communication system. Here, based upon these three basic propagation mechanisms only, we have to calculate the losses. The losses in the large scale as well as small scale fading systems. Here, what is meant by reflection? Here, reflection occurs when a propagating electromagnetic wave impinges upon an object. Propagating electromagnetic wave impinges upon an object which has a very large dimensions compared to the wavelength of a propagating wave. Propagating wave. Here the reflection nothing but a wave is moved from one point to another point. Is then an obstacle is present, automatically it takes reflections. It takes reflections. Here in this reflection, the object has a very large dimension compared to the wavelength of a propagating wave. That is the objective or obstacle is a large dimension obstacle is present between transmitter to receiver. Here reflection can be occurs is the surface of the earth from the buildings and walls. Buildings and walls. Next one is diffraction. Here the diffraction is nothing but in a radio path between transmitter to receiver. The radio path between the transmitter to receiver is obstructed by a surface that has sharp irregularities. Sharp irregularities, nothing but diffraction is nothing but a path, radio path between transmitter and receiver. An obstacle is present. The obstacle top having a sharp edge. Due to sharp edge, we are getting diffraction. We are getting diffraction. That is nothing but there is no line of sight path between the transmitter to receiver due to an obstacle present between the transmitter to receiver. Suppose even a line of sight path is present between the transmitter to receiver due to sharp edges. Due to sharp edges in the obstacle, we are getting diffraction. Here at this point, we have to calculate what is the amplitude, phase, polarization of a incident wave. Next one is scattering. Here the scattering occurs when the wave travels through the medium. The object with the dimensions are very small compared to the wavelength. That is, the object is very small compared to the wavelength. That is the rough surface of the earth. Rough surface of the earth. Rough surface of the wood. Rough surface of the glass. Nothing but the scattering is nothing but just exact reverse to the reflection. Reflection. Here that is the scattering occurs like best example is foliage losses. That is losses due to trees and forests and street signs, lamp posts. We are getting scattering in a communication system. That is, these are the three basic propagation mechanisms in a mobile radio communication. That is reflection, diffraction, scattering. Today we discuss about the first basic propagation mechanism is reflection. Reflection. Right. Here what is meant by reflection? Nothing but when a radio wave propagating in one medium to another medium with different electrical properties. With different electrical properties. Nothing but we are taking two mediums, medium 1 and medium 2. The wave is travels from medium 1 to medium 2. Medium 1 and medium 2 having different electrical properties. Here what is meant electrical properties? Nothing but permittivity, permeability and conductivity of the mediums are different. And whenever the electromagnetic wave moves from medium 1 to medium 2, some part of the signal is partially reflected, only some part of the signal is partially transmitted to medium 2. Right. Here suppose we have to assume that the medium is perfect dielectric. Perfect dielectric. Nothing but a part of energy is transmitted into second medium and part of energy is reflected back to the first medium only. That is, the total energy of a signal can be divided two parts. One part is again reflected back to same medium and another part moves to second medium. Suppose the second medium is perfect conductor. Perfect conductor. Nothing but all incident energy is reflected back to first medium only without losses. Without losses. That is, we are taking two examples here. One is perfect dielectric. Second one is perfect conductor. In perfect dielectric, nothing but some part of energy is reflected back to first medium. Some part of energy moves to second medium. Suppose the second medium is perfect conductor. All incident energy reflected back to first medium only without loss of energy. Here, whenever reflection takes place, we have to calculate electric field intensity. Electric field intensity, that is Fresnel reflection coefficient. Fresnel reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient, that is the reflection coefficient is a function of material properties and it is depends on wave polarization, angle of incidence, frequency of propagating wave. Right. Here the reflection coefficient depends upon the wave polarization, angle of incidence and frequency of propagating wave. That is in this reflection propagation mechanism we have to calculate reflection coefficient. Here what is the wave polarization? Nothing but the electromagnetic waves are polarized and it is mathematically represented some of the two spatially orthogonal components such as vertical and horizontal or left hand and right hand circularly polarized components. That is how the signal is moves from one medium to another medium, from vertical position or horizontal position and from left hand to or right hand position. See this one. I will explain this polarization from reflection from dielectric first. I will explain polarization based upon the example of reflection from dielectrics. See this one. Here the figure A and B shows. A shows electric field in the plane of incidence. Second is electric field normal to the plane of incidence. Right here, what is the normal? What is the normal? Suppose see this one. Suppose this is the medium 1. This is the medium 2. The medium 2 is perfect dielectric. Here the electrical properties of medium 1 is epsilon 1, mu 1 and sigma 1. Nothing but permeability and conductivity of the medium 1. And epsilon 2, mu 2, sigma 2. Nothing but permeability of the medium 2. Here, what is meant by normal? That is, this is the vertical dotted line shows normal when the normal is present. Whenever the electromagnetic wave is touches in the object in between medium 1 to medium 2, the point of incidence, we have to draw a vertical line from the point of incidence is called as a normal. It's called as a normal. We have to draw dotted line. Here, what is meant by I suffix shows incident, R suffix shows received or reflection wave, T transmitted, incident, reflected, transmitted. Here, the first figure shows E field in the plane of incidence. E field in the plane of incidence. Nothing but here, this is nothing but the electric field EI is perpendicular to the normal. Perpendicular. Suppose this is the see this one. This is the electric field. This is the magnetic field. Both are perpendicular to each other. Suppose this line can move to normal here like this. Then automatically the electric field is perpendicular. The electric field perpendicular to normal. Perpendicular to normal. Perpendicular to normal. But the reflection coefficient we are getting is parallel to incidence. Parallel to incidence. Similarly, the electric field normal to the plane of incidence. Here the theta I shows angle of incidence, theta R shows angle of reflection, theta T shows angle of transmitted wave. EI electric field component of incident wave, HI magnetic field component for incident wave, ER electric field component for received wave, HR magnetic field component for reflection wave, ET shows electric field component for transmitted wave. Here the E field normal to the plane of incidence. See this one. Suppose we have to draw this one in this direction normal wave, then automatically the electric field in this direction normal, both are should be is coincidence. At that time we are taking it is a perpendicular to angle of incidence. That's why we have to calculate reflection coefficient for perpendicular. Here from these two figures, what is meant by plane of incidence? The plane of incidence is defined as a plane containing the incident, reflected, transmitted ray. That is plane of incidence, the point where exactly incident wave coming, reflected wave to back to medium 1, transmitted wave to second medium. From the above figure 4a, E field is parallel to the plane of incidence. E field is parallel to plane of incidence, that is vertical polarization. 4b is E field polarization is perpendicular to the plane of incidence, that is horizontal polarization. From these figures A and B, we have to assume that IRT, the suffixes, subscripts, IRT shows incident, reflected and transmitted fields respectively, and epsilon mu sigma shows permittivity, permeability, and conductance of the two mediums. Here the relation between permittivity epsilon R and epsilon R epsilon naught is epsilon, which is equal to epsilon naught epsilon R minus J epsilon dash, where epsilon dash which is equal to sigma by 2 pi f, where sigma is conductivity of a material measured in Siemens per meter, where epsilon R and sigma are generally operating with frequency of a operating as a frequency of a signal. Right. Here from this figure A and B, we have to calculate the reflection coefficient. that is parallel and perpendicular to E field polarization. Suppose for first one, the equation 19 shows E field, electric field is a plane of incidence. Nothing but the reflection coefficient is parallel, which is equal to ER by EI. That is electric field reflection by electric field incidence, which is equal to eta 2 sin theta t minus eta 1 sin theta I divided by eta 2 sin theta t plus eta 1 sin theta I. Similarly, you have to calculate reflection coefficient for E field is not in the plane of incidence. That is equation number 20. Reflection coefficient per perpendicular medium, which is equal to electric field reflection divided by electric field incidence, which is equal to eta 2 sin theta I minus eta 1 sin theta t, eta 2 sin theta I plus eta sin theta t. Here I is shows the mediums, medium 1 and 2. Medium 1 and 2. Here what is meant by theta I? How to calculate theta? Which is equal to root of mu by epsilon. Root of mu by epsilon. Right. Right. Here from this here, you have to calculate the velocity of a electromagnetic wave, which is equal to 1 by root of mu epsilon. You know the Snell's law. What is meant by Snell's law? The Snell's law is nothing but angle of incidence, which is equal to angle of reflection. Similarly, you have to calculate, right? Root of mu1 epsilon 1. Mu1, that is depends on velocity. Root of mu1 epsilon 1 sine 90 minus theta I, which is equal to root of mu2 epsilon 2 sine 90 minus theta t. Nothing but angle of incident in the medium 1, angle of transmitted in the medium 2. This is based upon the Snell's law. You know, general Snell's law is theta I is equal to theta r. And from the relation between EI, ER, ET is nothing but ER, which is equal to reflection coefficient multiplied with EI. ET is equal to 1 plus reflection coefficient multiplied with EI. That is the relation between from ER, EI and ET. Suppose we had to assume that two mediums. The first medium is under free space. Nothing, air is the first medium. Air is the first medium. Then automatically mu1, which is equal to mu2. Mu1 equal to mu2. Substitute eta value in the equations. Substitute eta value. What is eta, which is equal to root of mu by epsilon. Substitute here. And finally, we are getting reflection coefficient for parallel, which is equal to minus epsilon r sin theta I plus root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I divided by epsilon r sin theta I plus root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I. Similarly, the reflection coefficient for perpendicular, which is equal to sin theta I minus root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I divided by sin theta I plus root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I. This is the equation when the first medium is in the free space. That air is the medium 1. Here, see this one. I am giving the exact figure. The axis for orthogonally polarized components. Orthogonally polarized components. Suppose this is the horizontal axis we have to assume. This is the vertical axis. Right? This is the parallel and perpendicular components are related to horizontal and vertical coordinates. Here, see this one. What is the perpendicular here? Perpendicular, nothing but it is also now it is which is equal to coincident with normal. That's why for small angle of change we are getting perpendicular angle of flexion for perpendicular in between horizontal to vertical axis, but parallel is moves away from the vertical axis. Vertical axis. Right, now we have to go for discussing the angle from this figure, angle theta. is measured in a counterclockwise from the horizontal axis. Why? The propagating wave is out of a page, and the vertical and the horizontal field components at the dielectric boundary is given by horizontal and vertical field components. Here, see this one in this equation number 26, the relation E D H E D V. V is nothing but vertical, H nothing but horizontal, which is equal to R power T DC R matrix EI of H EI of V. In this one, EDH and EDV is the field components of horizontal and vertical directions, and EIH and EIV are horizontal and vertical polarization components of incident wave and R shows transformation matrix, which maps both vertical and horizontal polarized components, mapped with horizontal vertical components, nothing but R, which is equal to cos theta sin theta and minus sin theta cos theta. See how this relation coming. Here, see this one in previous equations. Here, see this one. This is having some equations, right? Electric field in the plane of incidence. Electric field is not in the plane of incidence. Similarly, after mu1 equal to mu2, we are getting like this equations. From these equations only, we are getting R value. Right. Here, what is meant by DC is depolarization matrix. DC, which is equal to D perpendicular 0 0 D parallel D parallel and parallel. Here this figure shows the reflection modulus of magnitude of reflection coefficient of parallel, that is parallel polarization. E field is in the plane of incident. This is the second figure shows perpendicular polarization, that is E field is not in the plane of incidence. Now we discuss about Brewster angle. Here, what is meant by Brewster angle? Here, Brewster angle is nothing but the angle at which no reflection occurs in the medium of horizon. Nothing but there is no reflection takes place. Whatever the signal energy is transmitted from one medium, the total energy is entered into the second medium. There is no reflection can be takes place. That is the reflection coefficient, which is equal to 0. Then the Brewster angle sin theta b, which is equal to root of epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2. Root of epsilon 1 by epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2. Suppose the first medium is free space, that is air, and the second medium permittivity is epsilon r. Then the Brewster angle is sin theta b, which is equal to root of epsilon r minus 1 divided by root of epsilon r square minus 1. That is Brewster angle occurs only for vertical polarization. That is parallel. Vertical polarization in the parallel. That is Brewster angle nothing but the reflection coefficient, which is equal to 0. There is no reflection can be takes place in the medium of horizon. This is about Brewster angle. Now we are going for reflection can be takes place from perfect conductors. Reflection from perfect conductors. Here, what is the reflection can be takes place from perfect conductors? Nothing but the electromagnetic energy cannot pass through a perfect conductor in a plane of incident. The total energy is reflected back in the medium one only. That is, there is no transmission. whatever energy is incident, the total energy is reflected back. Based upon that condition, boundary condition, theta I which is equal to theta R. There is no theta T here. Only theta I which is equal to theta R. Based upon the electric field, EI equal to ER. EI equal to ER. That is, we are getting this equation theta I which is equal to theta R and EI equal to ER, which is E field in the plane of incidence. E field in the plane of incidence. Suppose E field is not a plane of incidence. At that time, theta I equal to theta R and EI equal to minus ER. Minus ER. Then substitute these relations theta I, theta R, EI and ER in the equation number 29 to 32. We are getting finally the reflection coefficient parallel which is equal to 1. The reflection coefficient perpendicular which is equal to minus 1. Minus 1. This is about reflection takes place from the perfect conductor. Perfect conductor. Right. Today we discuss about what are the three basic propagation mechanisms, that is reflection, diffraction and scattering. What are the definitions we discussed and how it can be takes places, and we discuss about basic reflection, how the reflection can be takes place, how reflection can be takes place from the perfect conductor, and how reflection can be takes place from pure dielectric, and how to calculate Brewster angle. We are discussing today's class. Do you have any query? Type your query in the chat box. Thank you very much for attending today's session.